We're now joined by the head softball coach at the United States Military Academy, Cheryl Milligan. Coach, thanks for a couple of minutes today.
Sure thing. Happy to be here.
Well, let's start. You guys had a season cut short. So how is the team progressing in the first month and couple of weeks of the season? And how tough is it to deliver that message that the season had been cut short before conference play got a chance to start?
Yeah, we kind of, had played a really good tournament to start off the season. And then I had struggled a little bit in our second tournament, which was a little bit more what we had expected from some of our competition. And then by that third tournament, heading into the Florida tournament, I felt like we were really starting to put together and be a little more consistent with what everybody could do. So we were kind of going into that final weekend of the spring break tournament when we sort of thought we were going to be able to play through the weekend, and that might be it. And then having to tell, certainly especially Em and Macy as our two seniors, that this season was coming to a close immediately, and they were going to be, dispersed back home was a pretty tough conversation. We were in the middle of a team day, having a little bit of fun at the moment, so it sort of put a little bit of a damper on the whole thing. But really proud of these guys for how well they adapted. Really everything was new surrounding this team this year. We had 13 plebes. We had a new strength coach. We had a new athletic trainer. We obviously had 3 new coaches. So there was just nothing that was standard or, as had been before. And so they really adjusted to a lot. Our coaching staff, I thought, did a tremendous job of really putting across the message of what was going to be important, what was going to help us win games. And I thought that they did a very good job of really grabbing onto that and giving all they got. So.
Well, your first year head coach at West Point, you got to experience a little bit the year before as an assistant. But what have been some of the biggest challenges adjusting to coaching, not only at the Division I level, but at a military academy where the challenges are greater than a lot of other places?
Sure. I think there's challenges everywhere for sure. And I think we're still trying to figure out what's going to be our sort of most important things to success here. But I think you do right by people and you take care of your people and you're going to be successful. And we try to certainly live by that every day. West Point has a set of challenges in that our cadets are really tired and really busy almost all the time. So, it's a little bit like a high academic school I came from, but on a bit more of a steroid level, I guess, in that we are, constantly on the go and the amount of time, there's just not a lot of downtime. Hey, stop by and we'll talk about this, or stop by, we'll take a look at this video. They don't have that kind of time. So you really, as a coach, have to be able to be a model of efficiency and make sure that they can get done what they need to get done. And that, to me, making sure that softball isn't an added stress to them, right? It's something they can think about in a positive frame, and it's not, oh, I got to get this done for softball, right? On top of get this done and be at 7 classes today and all of those things. So I think, making sure that we knew exactly how the day was going to look.
You mentioned you only have 2 seniors on the team, and while it was heartbreaking for them to have their season cut short, you're returning almost your entire team when you guys get back in the fall and go into the spring next year. So what did you learn about this team that's going to help you guys build on the success you started to have this season so you can be successful next season?
Sure. I think I said it right at the beginning. From working with this team last year, it really felt like they were a bunch of kids willing to tread water for a really long time, and they were just looking for the right boat to get on. And so what we tried to do was provide the boat. I think we did only have 2 seniors, but Macy, was the captain of our pitchers. She did a tremendous job for 4 years on the mound, but certainly put a bat in her hands for the first time this year, and she hit one out. And you can't replace MB defensively as a player, and she did a great job offensively as well. So certainly we will miss those 2 for sure. But we do have a strong returning core, and I think probably, as our seniors would attest to, are in a pretty good place to move forward. It's interesting because I felt like we learned a lot about this team this year. But that said, we've been talking. The coaches have had a lot of time to do a lot of meeting, and none of these players, young, old, or indifferent, had a chance to play in a game that really mattered this year, right? With a conference spot on the line, or a playoff berth, or whatever it might be. So it will be interesting to take them to that next level. I think they're ready. I think they're poised. I think sometimes they don't believe in themselves as much as they need to, and that'll be something that we'll continue to work on. So.
Well, with the coronavirus, everything's kind of looked a little different. So what's the new normal look like for you when you're not trying to keep in contact with the team, when you're home? What have you been doing during this time to kind of keep busy?
Sure. So we have 6-year-old, sorry. And so homeschooling has been probably our biggest challenge, honestly. He's not, he's just, I think he's plenty smart, hopefully, but he is just very low interest unless it's, learning about animals or Legos. So getting him to kind of keep up with the schoolwork has been a major challenge and keeping us on our toes. But other than that, I mean, we've been Zooming with the team once a week, and then another sort of second time of the week with our OR about some more academic stuff. So trying to keep in touch with them. We've had a couple baking shows that we've done with the team. We'll start some trivia next week. So it's been fun kind of catching up with them every week and trying to get, I suppose the sort of the silver lining was that we're getting a little bit more of a glimpse into them as a person from Florida or a person from California. And so, getting to see them sort of in their natural habitat, if you will, through these Zoom calls has been interesting and something that pre-COVID we really wouldn't have gotten. You might get a chance to do that once in a career where you are playing nearby and have the team over for dinner. But in general, we don't get to see where these kids came from in that sort of sense and get to see them regularly interacting in their own kitchens. So that's been really fun, just to get to know them on that level. But keeping busy. Well, it's just lots of planning, right? Like, what do you do when your season gets canceled? You plan for the next time you're going to get to be together. So.
Well, Coach, we do look forward to seeing you next year on your first full season, and when you guys are able to get back out there in the late summer, early fall, and can get back to practice.
Thanks so much.